condolences to the family and friends of the person that passed. Obviously, that's a tragic event that nobody wishes upon anybody, and to have it happen in our building makes it extra tough because you think about our games and the atmosphere, and it's about good times and everybody coming together and smiling and all those fun-loving things, and to hear something like that is it's tough. It was really, really unfortunate. So my condolences to the family.
Had it been acknowledged by the team at all in meetings or anything like that with you guys?
No, I mean it was talked about plenty. I mean I haven't stepped up and said, "Hey, this," but
Yeah.
because everybody's been aware of it, and I've learned more about it since then, and it's a tough deal.
Yeah.
Tough deal.
No easy way to move on from that. But when you look at just kind of the schedule that you have outlined in front of you, a couple of days of practice, is there any kind of focal point or anything of area of focus for you guys before you go into Phoenix?
Yeah, we want to get back to trying to bring a level of physicality to what we're doing, especially defensively, to where on our closeouts we're getting to people's bodies while not taking ourselves out of the play. We said that at the beginning of the year that we want to play fast, we want to be physical, and we want to play the right way together. Those three things. And I thought that our level of physicality was not where it needed to be against New Orleans. And you give them credit. They came in and they punched us in the mouth, and we didn't hit back, and that was the difference in the ball game, in my opinion.
We talked about it obviously beforehand. I mean, are they a little bit of an anomaly for when it comes to physicality? Can you take a true barometer from 3 games with them and seeing where you guys stack up physically?
No, I mean you do it collectively. Like our last 3 games, we haven't been good defensively. We've given up 125 points a game on 54% shooting.
Right.
And if we we're fortunate, lucky, however you want to call it, to beat Denver, but we deserve to go 1-2 in these last 3 games. Our defensive rating or efficiency hasn't been great overall. I mean, I can go on and on and on about our pick and roll defense hasn't been good, and so all that stuff, in my opinion, has something to do with your level of physicality and the consistency that you can bring to the table in that department. We haven't done it much at a high level, and we're paying the price because of it. So I don't necessarily look back on all 3 of the New Orleans games. I could just look back on our past 3 games.
Yeah.
The Clippers, Denver, and Denver with the win, and then New Orleans. It wasn't good.
How would the move today in practice today with the players, knowing that his season tournament is pretty much behind them? I know they got the game in Phoenix, but what was their mentality, how they feel out there today, knowing we still got plenty of season?
No, I think our guys understand that we have plenty of basketball left, but they also, especially after the film session, understand that again, not taking anything away from Willie Green and the rest of the staff and the players in New Orleans, but they understand that there were a lot of controllables that we chose not to control or try to control at the highest level, and so that's not a good feeling. That's a reality check, but we had a solid practice. I thought pretty good practice, and I think our guys are ready to move forward.
Trey had that sort of moment with Valanciunas last year. You think back to like Milwaukee last year when they came into town, and obviously you coached Draymond for a little while. Like, I'm sure there's a line, but how important do you think it is to have a guy that's kind of an enforcer and there to stand up for the team?
No, I think you have to, and Valanciunas is a good player. I don't think he's a dirty player at all. But I thought the officials missed it. He hit him with an elbow trying to run down the floor, and then Trey took exception to it. And obviously the second guy is going to get caught a lot of times. But I think it's a grown-up game, and it's fun. It is a kid's game on one hand, but there's a lot of stakes out there. Emotions are high, and you got to stand up for yourself as long as you don't cross the line. So, I'm all for it.
Do you think sometimes guys can sort of rally around moments like that?
Yeah, they can. Because at the end of the day, nobody wants to be a pushover in any business that they're in, especially when you're at the highest of high levels. So it can for sure be a rallying point.
Keegan's back flared up in that last game. He ends up
Yeah.
coming back into the game. Where is he at physically right now? Do you anticipate him missing any time? Like, where is he at right now with that back?
I'm not sure I don't know. Will he miss time?
He was out today, day to day,
Yeah.
going forward. He's just working hard to get back.
Yeah, I haven't checked on him yet, but I know he didn't practice today.
How big of a concern is that long term for you? Or?
No, I've said this before. We don't want anybody out, and I know you guys are probably tired of my answer. I apologize, but we don't. We don't want anybody out if we can help it. Last year we were fortunate, blessed, lucky, all of the above to be pretty healthy throughout most of the year, and this year in the short amount of time that we've been playing, we've had guys miss obviously a ton of games compared to last year due to injury and we just got to have the next man step up when that happens. And we feel like we're a deep team, and if we play the way we're capable of or play to our identity, we'll be able to win at a pretty high level even if the guy's out.
Malik's had really good production to start this year. Just what have you seen from him and sort of changes from last year, if there's anything there?
Yeah, no, Malik, in terms of his attention to detail and being locked in, you can really see it. He's been a lot of fun to be around in practice. He's extremely vocal. He's getting his work in at a higher level this year than last year, and that's either pre-practice or post-practice. So the way he is performing, and I'm not talking in the games, the way he is performing in terms of his preparation, and then having the carry over into practices and shoot around and starting to show in the game.
Do you feel like that's almost validating of that you've created or started to create a culture here?
I mean, you hope so, but again, it's the culture is led by the players, and players really they can drive it or they can say screw it. And our players are driving whatever we're trying to develop here at the highest level.
And then what was your message to De'Aaron after looking at that last game, like tough stretch to close the first, and just what did you see from De'Aaron in that last one?
He's got to play better. He knows it, but I've never shied away from what I see or trying to tell the truth. I'm not always right, but whether it's Foxy or Sabonis or Keon Ellis or Colby Jones, I'm going to tell the truth, and I'm going to point out the things that I feel like I need to point out. And I said this many times before. To Foxy's credit, he allows me to coach him, and so with him allowing me to coach him makes it easier for me to coach everybody else. So it was no different after the last game than what it's been since I've been here.
Coach Brown, the other night you had mentioned that you don't run plays for Harrison Barnes.
Yeah.
I don't know if I missed anything after that, but
No.
the question is, why? Because we know, he can get that shot up and take those threes and shoot them at a high clip when he wants to. So just want to know what was the reasoning to not him being in the mix of, calling him a play.
Now, when I say that, that doesn't necessarily mean that I never 0% of the times I've called plays for him this year. It's just hard. So one of the things is we want to play fast, and when you play fast, that means I need to kind of take a step back and put it in their hands to make plays. You know what I'm saying? Because we're trying to get the best possible look. So if HB is in the right spot and he's able to play a quick handoff game or a quick pick and roll game or whatever with Domas, he's going to get a look. But all those things in early offense are a lot of times generated by the players based on the concepts that we teach them. So it's conceptual basketball. So that's the first thing. I don't want to slow our guys down by saying, no, wait, do this, and now bring us to a crawl offensively. The second thing is, if you think about our team, the ball's going to probably go to Foxy first, Thomas second, Kevin Herter gets a lot of play calls, then you got Keegan, Keegan, and then you got HB in the mix. So it's kind of like based on the amount of plays that I can call per game, there's not enough for me to consistently go to HB, and that's what I meant more than anything else. It's the consistency of getting his number called play after play after play after play after play. That doesn't happen much. It happens for Domas, it happens for Foxy, it happens even for Kevin to a certain degree, and Keegan to a lesser degree, and then HB is probably in there with Keegan.
Thanks for explaining.
Quick question for you about Malik. We spoke about him a bit, but he's been really efficient in pick and roll situations.
Yeah.
Was that something that you envisioned when you first got here?
Yeah, and you know, the thing that Malik is starting to do a better job of, I thought he did a great job of it last night, is everybody knows he can score. Oh, my
Oh, you're
bad,
good.
my bad.
You're good.
He can score in the pick and roll. Everybody knows he can find the roller, whether it's in the pocket or it's up at the rim on a vertical threat. The last two things to his development is sometimes just come off that thing and that weak side pulls in, just make the simple push ahead pass. All right, and then coming off that thing, getting deep enough, and then finding the spray. And I thought he had for sure 2, maybe 3 or 4, because when he plays in the perimeter for easy